You know, I had trouble with Henry Miller all my life. I don't know why. I could get into parts of him, and then he would just throw me off. Something would discourage me.
You know what? You said the thing that the literary you never got discovered by the literary people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm afraid he did.
Yeah.
And they
The
never.
academics.
Mm-hmm.
He never got out of that. That's
I've been very fortunate. Nobody's played with me too much. Yeah. And John Martin, you know, he never. I have free reign. I just whatever I write, and I get away with it. So it's really lucky. Really lucky.
John is great. The compatibility that they have between each other without a lot of words or anything, between a publisher and a writer, I've never heard of anything like this. It's just a marvelous flow back and forth. You know, little things never happen. Little edgy things, little ego things. Rarely do they ever come.
We're both from the 30s,
Yeah,
you know.
but it's
And
never
there was a certain
malicious or anything.
was a certain lifestyle of the 30s where you didn't beg and you did what you could, and you just bucked in there. And we're from the old school, and you know, no whining, none of that. I've done quite a bit of whining tonight. I'm not going to read 5 hours. No,
You did that the other
I
day,
refused
didn't
to. I sounded like a bastard on the phone. But there's a reason for. I won't go into it. I was tricked into all this shit.
Well, what you just said reminds me of Cole Porter, that he came out of a different background, but he had a pillow supposedly that was embroidered and said, "Don't complain, don't explain."
Yeah. Well, you know who said that first? Ezra. That came out of one of his poems, I believe. Yeah. And Kennedy, when what was that? Chappadik? Was that the name where the woman drowned?
Yeah.
They asked him, you know, well, can you explain this? He said, don't complain, don't explain. Don't explain, don't complain. Yeah, Kennedy. That's from Ezra. And so this guy, Cole Porter, that's from Ezra too. So people pick up from other guys and they use the phraseology.
Well, Pound was remarkable.
Yeah, but you know, when he died, he said, everything I've written is worthless. It's fake, false. But I knew what he meant. He had a lot of bullshit in there. He was kind of shining and showing off. But amongst all that shining and showing off was some great stuff, powerful stuff. He kind of demeaned himself at the end there. But he died a humble man, anyhow.
How did he die?
I don't know. I think it was just, you know, slow death. Just old age. Die of general old age. That's all I know. Could be another reason. Interesting fucking guy, yeah.
Never stopped.
So, should we?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. You know, and I know, and thee know, that as a yellow shade rips, as the cat leaps wild-eyed, as the old bartender leans on the wood, as the hummingbird sleeps, you know, and I know, and thee know, as the tanks practice on false battlefields, as your tires work the freeway, as a midget drunk on cheap bourbon cries alone at night, as the bulls are carefully bred for the matadors, as the grass watches you and the trees watch you, as the sea holds creatures vast and true, you know and I know and thee know, the sadness and the glory of two slippers under a bed, the ballet of your heart dancing with your blood, young girls of love who will someday hate their mirrors, overtime in hell, lunch with sick salad, You know, and I know, and thee know. The end as we know it now, it seems such a lousy trick after the lousy agony. But you know, and I know, and thee know, the joy that sometimes comes along out of nowhere, rising like a falcon moon across the impossibility. You know, and I know, and thee know, the cross-eyed craziness of total elation. We know that we have finally not been cheated. You know, and I know, and thee know, as we look at our hands, our feet, our lives, our way, the sleeping hummingbird, the murdered dead of armies, the sun that eats you as you face it. You know, and I know, and thee know, we will defeat death.
Perfect.
Got pretty dramatic there, didn't we?
Oh,
We're talking about Ezra. Ezra turned me on.
That's what did it.
Yeah. Well, we need 494.
We'll drag out the P's and cantos next. And
Too tough for me. I used to have a girlfriend come back from the library. He said, "You got those fucking cantos again? You never read them." I say, "But I try. Why do you keep bringing them?" I don't know.
what was it like, Hank, when you discovered Fante?
Well, it was especially his first book. It was like a writing of clarity from it sounds corny, from an open heart. Just somebody speaking outwardly of exactly the way it is. You know, most writing is so veiled, so convoluted, so hidden. It's covered by fog. It's covered by workmanship, carefulness. This guy just came out and just said things, which was what I was trying to do at the same time. So when I saw that, I said, yes, it's possible. He did it. I can do it. So it was a big boost to come across him.
Were you living downtown at the time, too?
Yeah, downtown LA, you know, kind of actually around Bunker Hill, where he wrote about that stuff. What made it more stranger. So,
yeah,
it was just luck. I pulled it out of the show.
Did you know each other?
No, not till near the end, you know. I told Linda how much I admired him, and he was dying, and she said, "Why don't you go see him?" I said, "I don't want to bother him. I never wanted to bother him." So we went, and I told him, you know, I'd admired him since I was in my 20s, and he accepted it all right. So,
He's living out in Malibu then?
yeah, you know, I got that house he made, got it working for the movies. So, yeah, we went down there once, and he'd been out of the hospital. And they propped him up at the table, you know, and he said, "Well, I'm not allowed to drink, but I'm going to have a glass of wine with you, Hank." I said, "Thank you, John." Then he sat a while, we were talking. I suddenly got tired. He said, "I have to go to bed." And I put him back in his bed. And then we were all sitting there talking, getting drunk. That poor guy was back in his bedroom. Though we were talking about him, a lot of it. And he let out this mournful howl. It was horrible. So the pain do you remember that when he howled from the back room? The pain finally did come out, what was happening to him, being chopped away inch by inch. So.
oh, that was intensely. Just
But you know, I went to see him, or Linda and I did, and it's kind of prolonged his agony. I made him live longer because they said everybody thought he's ready to go, and all of a sudden here he is, all talking about writing his next novel, and he did write one while he was in there. So we prolonged his agony, I guess.
Or you could say the other way, that you gave him one more piece of hope.
Yeah, so.
What a bulldog.
Yeah, I was calling him, he looked like a little bulldog.
No eyes, no legs.
Oh, he was blind,
He
yeah.
was blind, no eyes and no legs. And he was a little man originally, physically. And seeing him lying on a bed with no legs and unable to see.
They told me one time, you know, the doctor was just here, Hank. You know what this son of a bitch said? Well, John, I think we'll just lop off another couple inches today.
It was about his toes. They'd done his right foot, his right leg, no, his left leg. First his foot, his toes, his foot, and then his left leg. And then they had to do his right leg. They started with his toes, and the doctor came in and said, well, we're going to lop off a couple more toes today. Lop off. I mean, like lop off a little plant or something.
I guess the doctor's trying to say it in a cheerful way or something. It didn't work.
In his view.
But didn't he wrote The Full Life?
Yeah, it wasn't
Full of Life.
One
yeah.
Full of Life.
Yeah, way back.
That was what, 58?
No, that came a little later. I think some large publishing company
Yeah,
did
but
it.
he wrote it a way back.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was made into a film.
Yeah.
Oh,
But there was a richness there.
oh yeah, that guy could put the word down.
Yeah.
For a long time, I thought, maybe I shouldn't tell anybody about Fante, because they might think that he entirely influenced me. And I said, what kind of coward are you, man? You can't stand on your own 2 feet and admit this man influenced you? What kind of person are you? Come on out and say it. So I did.
You said it, Ellis. That's a great
Yeah.
introduction. It's a wonderful
I
introduction.
mean, what's there to fear?
Yeah, but I also feel a lot of Sherwood Anderson in your stuff.
Oh yeah, sure, you got me there, Sherwood. Quite a boy, his simple lines. I just love to read his page. I just look at a page of his writing, the way the words went across. There weren't these big blocky paragraphs. They were just little lines. He knew how not to bore you with his writing. Very important. Died swallowing a toothpick.
Ooh.
He's drinking martinis
Oh.
with Thornton Wilder. I guess one of the toothpicks went down. It got into his system, and they tried to cut it out. It didn't work. Well, you got to go one way or the other.
That's what the literary life can do for you.
Yeah.
I don't see any martinis
Don't
here.
drink martini. No. I swallowed a few corks.
Bottle caps.
Yeah.
I'd like to have seen a meeting between Hank and Dylan Thomas.
No,
A
we wouldn't have
night
made
of, a night
it.
of the two. What would have happened?
No, he's too loud and windy for me. I
Oh,
couldn't.
no.
No, I'm sorry. No. Mm-mm.
If you feel a need to stop, just stop and say, cut, and it's easy for me to put it together.
I want to do the short story and wind it up. Well, we got through the fucking poems. This should be a ball. Yeah. It's all behind us.
We're ready whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Less delicate than the locust. Balls, he said, I'm tired of painting. Let's go out. I'm tired of the stink of oils. I'm tired of being great. I'm tired of waiting to die. Let's go out. Go out where? She asked. Anywhere. Eat, drink, see. George, she said, what will I do when you die? You will eat, sleep, fuck, piss, shit, clothe yourself, walk around and bitch. I need security. We all do. I mean, we're not married. I won't even be able to collect your insurance. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Besides, you don't believe in marriage, Arlene. Arlene was sitting in a pink chair reading the afternoon newspaper. You say 5,000 women want to sleep with you. Where does that leave me? Oh, listen, let's start this over again.
Sounds great.
But I think I kind of have a woman's voice different than a man's voice.
Whatever voice.
Let me try it.
Okay.
I could do it, both the same, but I think I'll try it the other way just for fun.
Let's do it.
All right.